Uganda n'abagameze ni munamateeka. Constitution ya Uganda akawairo namba 29 mugende mukasome kagamba bannayuganda badembe okwekalakasa mu mateeka nga tebakutte bisi ekyokulwanyisa kyamwe egenda kubeera bendera gyayaki.
Uganda's political scene is making headlines again. Several police officers who were assigned to protect opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, popularly known as Bobi Wine, have reportedly been arrested and dismissed from the police force. Supporters say these officers are being punished for doing their jobs professionally. Authorities say they neglected their duties. So what really happened? Why were the officers arrested? And what does this mean for Uganda's political future? Let's break it down. Background: who is Bobi Wine? Before we go deeper, let's understand the man at the center of this story. Bobi Wine is one of Uganda's most well-known opposition figures. He is the leader of the National Unity Platform, often called NUP, and a major challenger to longtime President Yoweri Museveni. Museveni has ruled Uganda since 1986, making him one of Africa's longest-serving leaders. Before entering politics, Bobi Wine was a popular musician whose songs spoke about social justice and the struggles of ordinary Ugandans. Over the years, he transformed from a music star into a powerful political voice advocating for democracy, human rights, and political reform. But his rise in politics has also come with intense political tension. The latest development. According to reports from Ugandan media outlets, several police officers from the Uganda Police Force who were assigned to protect Bobi Wine during the 2026 presidential campaign have now been arrested. The officers were reportedly detained at the railway police station in Kampala. Sources say they face accusations including disobedience of lawful orders, leaving work without permission, neglect of duty. Some reports also say that 9 officers were dismissed from the police force. However, the full details behind these accusations are still unclear.
Not yet been paid.
Is that
then
true?
You arrest a person.
IGP, is that true that
Yes,
you arrested the police officers who were attached to Honorable Kyagulanyi?
I'm not aware of
How I wish you addressed that a little earlier. He would have responded if
I
you...
would have
It's
cross-checked.
public information.
No, but,
It's in the public domain.
Honorable
Chair.
colleagues,
Not aware.
this is something very important. If you are not aware, how many minutes do you need to consult whoever is responsible?
Bobi Wine has strongly criticized the arrests. In a statement posted on social media, he said the officers are being unfairly targeted. According to him, the government claims that these officers helped him escape from his home during a military raid. But Bobi Wine says that claim is not true. He says the officers assigned to him were actually withdrawn from duty on January 15th, which was Election Day. And when security forces raided his home the following day, those officers were no longer responsible for his security. Bobi Wine believes the officers are now being blamed because authorities were unable to locate him for nearly 2 months. What authorities are saying? So far, officials from the Uganda Police Force have not released detailed explanations about the arrests.
187 districts and divisions. We have 32 regional police regions. Now, issues of discipline is incumbent upon them. So when they arrest staff for maybe indiscipline on other matters, it's not that we should get to know immediately, no.
Okay.
Because because when you scan the country now, people who have been arrested, there are very many. So I need to know which unit arrested.
IGP, don't smallerize the issue.
I'm not smallizing.
Don't smallerize the issue.
And that's where we are getting, because...
Issue of bodyguards of a presidential candidate is not a small issue.
However, reports suggest investigators may be examining the officers' conduct during the campaign, their relationship with Bobi Wine's team, and whether they followed official instructions. At the time of publication, a police spokesperson had not yet responded to media inquiries. This has happened before. Interestingly, Bobi Wine says this is not the first time officers assigned to him have faced trouble. After the 2021 election, several members of his campaign security team were also arrested and interrogated. According to Bobi Wine, those officers were questioned about his campaign funding, political meetings, campaign strategies. They were also reportedly asked why they tried to protect him from violent confrontations during the campaign. Security during elections. During presidential elections in Uganda, candidates are usually assigned security personnel by the state. Reports indicate that every candidate, including President Yoweri Museveni, received 16 police officers from the Counter-Terrorism Directorate. These officers are meant to protect candidates during rallies and campaign activities. Their allowances are reportedly paid by the Electoral Commission of Uganda. Interestingly, some reports say the officers had recently complained about delayed payment of their allowances, which could also be part of the wider dispute. Political reactions. The arrests have sparked debate across Uganda. Supporters of the opposition say the officers are being punished for professionalism and that the move is politically motivated. Meanwhile, government supporters argue that security officers must follow orders regardless of who they're assigned to protect. This has once again raised questions about political freedom, the independence of state institutions, and the role of security forces during elections.
So if we are asking for a bodyguard of the person who was supposed to be your president, the Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, and you claim not to know anything like in an update of whether these were arrested, it's not being fair. Do you have a human resource person here, the person who is in charge of human resource? Yeah, if the person is here in charge of it, because a presidential candidate is not like the other people you deploy in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And for us in Zimbabwe, you afforded to beat us, everything was done, and you didn't respond. But for the presidential candidate, at least, respond.
Okay, the people who are responsible were under counter-terrorism. Maybe the director can...
Director counter-terrorism, tell us.
And why is Chituma Rusoke quiet?
Chituma Rusoke has not said anything. And by the
way, he likes talking and telling lies. They have arrested the people. He said, we don't have them. We go there. Why is he quiet? Chair. Madam Chair. When he likes to talk after he has gone to why is he quiet here? Madam Chair.
A moment, Honorable Song, let him respond. The person who is in charge, counter-terrorism, please respond. A moment, let him first respond.
What this means for Uganda. The situation highlights the continuing tension between Uganda's government and the opposition movement led by Bobi Wine. Uganda has seen repeated political disputes during election periods, often involving arrests, protests, and accusations from both sides. Analysts say incidents like this could affect public trust in security institutions, the political climate ahead of future elections, and international attention on Uganda's democratic process. Conclusion. For now, many questions remain unanswered. Why exactly were these officers arrested? Will formal charges be filed? And how will this impact the relationship between Uganda's opposition and its security agencies? As the story develops, it will likely continue to draw attention both inside Uganda and internationally. One thing is clear, Uganda's political landscape remains highly dynamic, and events like this show how closely politics, security, and democracy are connected.
Madam Chair, my clarification is simple, and I wanted to hear from Honorable Nandala Mafabi whether he has any information that his bodyguards were paid. And I want to hear from him, why does he, the gentleman who was responding, why does he call this one a case of indiscipline when people are asking for their pay?
Supplement that. You see, Madam Chair, and Mr. IGP, let us be serious on this matter, because the type of people we are talking about, they have oath of allegiance. And it's very precedent in the running of their work. But they also have their rights constitutionally. If there is a complaint from them that they are demanding for their payments, the way even others were demanding those who commanded voting, presiding officers. There must be a way you, as the administrators, come out to rescue them from their demand. Don't think it was easy to have those policemen moving with us throughout the whole country as we are campaigning with the tear gas, also fighting with you because we are looking for power at that time. So any issue dealing with the police officers and there is oath of allegiance, but they are asking for their right, I would pray, whether you talk about VVIP or what, you should take President Mr. IGP to normalize that challenge. Because the issue with them,
Commandant,
they want their money.
Honorable,
And they feel.
Now let him respond. Sir, what is the update?
Honorable Chair, the payment for that activity comes from Electoral Commission, and even the withdrawal of the teams, it is the Electoral Commission who withdraw them.